Hey there, quirky people. How are you today? Did you enjoy Hawkeye? Did you miss Spider-Man through the Rockefeller Center during the finale? Well, I'm going to take your attention away from Hawkeye and the holiday vibe it left us with. The MCU is continuously expanding in several directions. The beauty of owning a cinematic universe is that you can make characters dance to your tune and create communities out of thin air. Eternals. But the more time you do it, the stranger things get. Marvel Studios was much more conservative back in Phase 2. They took time and effort to build characters so that the ultimate payoff would be worth the wait. Take Age of Ultron, for example. It introduced us to two very important characters. The Maximoff twins were the first hints of the mutants in the MCU. And yet, Marvel Studios chose to bury the mutant line and make the Mind Gem the source of their power. However, recent events seem to indicate that the Mind Gem might have been a mere catalyst. We think that because of Marvel's retcons, there is an explanation that might legitimize the existence of mutants in the MCU. Not only that, but it is also possible that Ultron killed most of them in Sokovia. Keep watching to find out what we mean. We can all agree that Ultron is the most intelligent villain Avengers had to battle.
The inevitability. You rise, only to fall.
They only won through sheer luck, and even that victory came at a great cost. When you defend the world, the population of a city may become collateral damage. This was the lesson that this movie taught us. Even Zemo's existence was the Avengers' fault. Ultron was Tony's fault. If this theory is true, then it follows that the death of all mutants was also Tony's fault.
Why is he trying to kill us?
This theory stems from events that occurred in WandaVision. If you have not seen that show, then I recommend that you watch it and then come back. I'm about to spoil it for you. You see, Agatha Harkness was an ancient witch who fooled Wanda by showing her her own memories. She showed Wanda that she always had the power to cast probability hexes. The Mind Stone merely accentuated her power. This means that Wanda is probably the first Earth-born natural superhero in the MCU.
This is chaos magic, Wanda. That makes you the Scarlet Witch.
Up until now, all of our headliners had been superpowered by virtue of their mind or extraterrestrial origin. Initially, Marvel Studios decided to deviate from Wanda's comic origins as a mutant. They claimed that the Maximoff twins were altered by Hydra's Mind Stone experiments. While that may be true, we never thought to ask why they were the ones chosen for the said experiments. It is the fandom's theory that Sokovia always had mutant genes. The Maximoff twins might just be the key to solving the mutant mystery in the MCU. It is possible that being the rebel leaders, they volunteered themselves to Hydra. But when has Hydra been the one to only take what is offered? It is more likely that Hydra conducted their own research on Sokovia. They had the Mind Stone for so long. If it could power up just anyone, then they would have used it on their own soldiers. The fact that they did not implies that they could not. Only certain individuals may inherit the power of the Mind Stone. And the revolving theory around the internet is that all those certain individuals possess the X gene. Most of you would know that the X gene is what makes mutants in the Marvel Universe. It is a mutation that gives the mutants their powers. So maybe a small chunk of Sokovia's populace possessed this gene to some degree. The Mind Stone might have only sped up their evolution. It is possible that there were other people in Sokovia who had the X gene. We also think that Ultron knew this, and this was what caused him to target the small country. If you think about it for a minute, Ultron stole a lot of vibranium just to make his own body.
It's beautiful. The vibranium atoms aren't just compatible with the tissue cells, they're binding them.
Most versatile substance on the planet. And they used it to make a frisbee.
He wanted to destroy human civilization, raise us from the surface of this planet to make sure that peace and justice would prevail. In his own words,
It means nothing when the dust settles. The only thing living in this world will be metal.
he clearly had no intention of letting anyone live. Not even the twins that stood by him against the Avengers. The death of the Avengers was just part of Ultron's master plan.
You had to ask.
This is the best I can do. This is exactly what I wanted. All of you against all of me.
His next step was the elimination of future threats. This step also involved the destruction of the X gene and everyone who had it. Hence, the cold calculating machine turned his attention to Sokovia. He wanted to destroy the city along with everyone in it.
There's the rest of the vibranium. Function, still unclear.
This is how you end, Tony. This is peace in my time.
His plan was to make Sokovia the epicenter of his crusade against humanity. What a way to start culling by eliminating the Earth's mightiest heroes, and the next generation of possible super beings who may go on to become heroes or villains and cause even more chaos. Dropping the city of Sokovia as a meteor would ensure both. Hence, this became his primary plan. Stealing the Avengers was also secondary, so were the bots. Ultron knew everything. He had his hands on all the information available in the world. This meant that he was able to take predictions about how humans would react, and even about the future threats that could emerge to oppose him after the Avengers' death. Looking at the power of the Maximoff twins, he would have deduced that the mutants were a credible threat, even if they were yet to be born or evolve. This means that Sokovia might have harbored a whole community of mutants. We see this play out in the MCU in the near future. If this theory is correct, then the MCU already has mutants. Marvel Studios can start introducing them one by one, maybe after the Multiverse of Madness. But there is only one issue. Currently, the MCU is focused on the multiverse. We don't think that a complex storyline like the X-Men would be a wise choice for the MCU right now. Things may soon become too cluttered if Kevin Feige is not careful. But the Sokovia claim has some degree of legitimacy to it. It is a viable theory that someone like Professor X or Magneto might have emerged to destroy Ultron. It was imperative for the robots' victory to obliterate this city from the face of the Earth. However, what the MCU can now do is start injecting random mutants into already active storylines. Maybe not someone major like Jean Grey or Cyclops, but someone much weaker or more interesting. Rogue might be a good choice. Even a young Magneto might be a good choice. The MCU may also be able to tackle the refugee situation by showing how the Sokovians are being mistreated after the destruction of their country.
Here we go, let's move.
This would give the Sokovians reasons to be mad at the world. If the mutant identity is combined with the cultural identity, we would have the makings of a political story. Such a story would be true to the comic themes of X-Men. Moreover, there is a possibility that we may see Wolverine or some other mutants in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange 2 may be our best bet for the mutants in the multiverse. Maybe Wanda is going to do a reverse House of M storyline and unlock the X gene for everyone who has it on Earth. This might be her ploy to bring her children back and suddenly bring all the mutants into the MCU as well. What do you guys think of this theory? Did Ultron know about mutants in Sokovia?
Got no strings, so I have fun. I'm not tied up to any fun.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to check out some more fun content on our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!